Coach, the baseball regular season is wrapping up across the parking lot, but football season in full swing now at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Yellow! Let's go out, Eddie! Hey, yellow, go.
Pick it up! Check! Undercrush!
On first down, Mahomes eluding the pressure right. And his first look is incomplete. We've got whistles, and the man slow to get up here is the quarterback, Mahomes. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
It shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? It shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles. Gain some additional yardage.
Switch! Shift!
Go! Get it!
On first down, Bowman. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Back to throw. Bowman. And an alley to run. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
Mahomes on target here to Hardman. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On 2nd down now, it's Mack. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Bowman. He's got his man. That's Hardman. A gain of 22.
Let's go.
Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
Offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
On second down, it's Mack. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Looking to throw. Bowman steps away to his left. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Mecole Hardman, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs take it right down and score on the opening drive. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
Down. 18 Gator.
They'll begin the drive with Jackson on the ground. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. In on the tackle, Alex Okafor. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Colin Saunders coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9.
15-1. 15-1.
Mike 54.
Hey, wahoo!
Let's go, defense. Here we go. Right there.
Ready?
Throwing on 3rd and long. Moran. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And that kick will go out of bounds right at the 20-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here we go, here we go.
KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
Starting the drive with a give to Mack. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Go. Snap.
To throw on 2nd down. Bowman. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
17, guys. Check him out. He's going to sit right over the middle. Watch the middle. Let's go.
Back to throw. Bowman. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Kill.
Hey, stand by.
On 2nd down, this is Jackson. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Able to find Waller. That's complete. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland 1st down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
A 1st down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Leo.
They run the counter. Jackson. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Jackson. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
2nd and 4. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Bowman. He completes this one to Mack. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City 1st.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just...
Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point. His first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Throwing again. Moran. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw again. Bowman. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. It was the free safety, LaMarcus Joyner, that time, able to make the play.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Looking to run with Mack. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Marlon Mack, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. They were able to push him backwards on first down, but this time he forces his way in.
I wonder if he went back to the huddle and said, guys, just a little bit more help, and I can get it done on this one. Maybe even overruled the play call from the sideline, just feeling like he had that opportunity, and he wanted to cash it in.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Squeeze. Ready.
On 2nd down now. It's Jackson. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. 2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
Ready, set.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
7 yards there and a first down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On the set.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the
Hey, Zoo.
Flare. Mike 56, Mike 56.
From the gun, Bowman. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect it. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. They'll run it. It's Mack. Space to maneuver at the 40. And a cutback right sideline. That one good for 33 and a first. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Bowman. It's Kelsey on the ground.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 3rd down, a run by Mack. And some room to work. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. He will push his way down to about the 14. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. To throw on 2nd down, Bowman. He's got it to Williams. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On 3rd down, Mack, and he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the 1st half. Butker's kick here is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. Still a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one.
I'm with you.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So we... Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Juan Thornhill. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Point after, up and good. And the lead is now 24.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
At the 26-yard line.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
It's just me and you. No.
You're out.
Alert 3. Alert 5.
Here's Jackson. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now it's Jackson. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Now a dump off here complete. And he coughed it up, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Under 10. 10. Watch safety 3.
Hey!
Safety.
Hey, rock it. Get it.
Looking to throw on second down. Bowman completes it to Hardman. That'll put him close to 100 yards receiving. He's at 98, and he's got a first down.
And Tucson. Yeah.
First and goal at the 3-yard line.
Hey, lock it.
They'll run it with Mack. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Marlon Mack with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And oh, it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Good word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Hey, high 7.
To throw on third down, Moran. And this is caught by Jackson. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Give him 32 on the play.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Looking downfield for Jones. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Moran. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 17. And the return will stop right around the 25. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. A throw over the middle, taken in. The 20, 10, and all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Mecole Hardman with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. The extra point up and good, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's the 2nd and 7. He's airing it out for Williams. He's got a man, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain there of 30 big ones. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They run on 1st down with Jackson. He's got a 1st down and more inside the 30. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a 1st. They've kept him in check until that run. That's the first time he's really gotten loose in this game.
And they have to keep that in mind. Don't dwell on the fact that he finally had a big run. You kind of are counting on that as the game went on. Get back to what you were doing before. Start limiting him again.
It'll be first and goal when we come back. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They come up in an offset eye. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. They'll try the ground game with Jackson. And he is not going to get through here on try number one. They stop him at the goal line. No gain on the play, and it's going to be second and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there. His fourth touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are able to eat just a bit into this sizable deficit. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. As they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go. Let's do it.
The Chiefs take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
The Chiefs on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for this with Mack. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Mack. And they're going to him him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Ready. 70, Indy. Leo.
On 2nd down, Williams.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this...
And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, here's a give to Mack. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They'll start here with Jackson. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland 1st down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Throwing on 1st down. Moran, he's going to let it fly. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Time to go, night.
Back to throw. Moran got his man. It's Williams. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Here's 2nd and 8. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. So the 14 yards actually takes them from 143 to the other for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Moran. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, but now it's 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Moran. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 29-yard line. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining.
Ready. 18 Gators.
54. Mike, 54. They can't hang with us.
Hey, Delta.
Check.
Look, squeeze.
Check.
Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining.
Set, ready? 70, Indy.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some.
Hey, exit.
Come out here. Come get some.
Get it.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. So this one in the win.